Where's it go live on here, like? I can't remember.
On Facebook.
I've got it.
Right, here we are.
Here we are. Phone's off. Are we on? It's saying then. Is this on or not? Emma?
Is it on?
I don't know. We're asking you now.
Do you know what we should do, really?
Yeah.
Stop it quickly. We've got 2 chairs.
Yeah.
Or do we face this way?
No, you're live now.
Yeah, we're live. Oh, we're live. Sorry, guys. We don't know we're live there. I'm here today with my very, very good friend, Lee Little. He's 34 years I've known this guy. He's 50-year-old. So he's been pal of known for a long, long time. I'll just let him introduce himself, what he's done, his accolades and stuff in bodybuilding. Welcome today, Lee Little.
Yeah.
Very, very close friend.
Pleased to meet you. Again and again.
Yeah. So what have you won? Bodybuilding, we just go through.
Bodybuilding, I started, what was it? How old was I? I
was 16 when I met you in the Olympia gym.
I was 12 years old when I first started.
Yeah.
The reason that started, obviously, was because I got bullied. So I didn't do it to put some size on. I did it to build my confidence.
Yeah.
Because that's what I was like, and as you know when you first met me.
Of course.
And then the first thing that I went into was Olympia.
Yeah.
As soon as I go Olympia, basically, because I've been training since I was 12, and not just like 1-2 hours a day, 3 hours a day, I got noticed.
Yeah.
So, but I've always been
interested. There's an oldest bodybuilder called Sean Ray, isn't it?
Yeah.
And you had that type of aesthetic, tiny waist, massive shoulders, really good physique. Yeah.
Going back to your question, the first competition that I won was Batley.
Right.
I think I dieted for about 4 weeks.
Yeah.
I placed first on that one.
Yeah.
Then I went in for another one. I can't remember where that was, and I got another first place. That qualified me for Batley. Batley, Sheffield.
Yeah.
The under 21s over 75 kilograms.
Yeah.
The thing back, obviously, in the 80s and stuff like that, is there was sort of better categories.
There was a lot more people competing, wasn't there?
There's a lot of people competing now.
Yeah.
But
there were a lot more, I won't be disrespectful people on, but I think there were a lot more aesthetic bodybuilders then.
Oh, absolutely.
And there were a lot more ones who have been training without taking steroids and all that type of stuff. They were banging to training. Yeah. Nowadays, kids go to a gym and the first thing they say is, what steroids do I take? They've only been training 2 weeks. Yeah. So then you went on, didn't you, to progress in the bodybuilding?
Well, what I did was, I'll tell you what put me off, was I went in for the British Championships.
Yeah.
And I was all enthusiastic and everything like that. But the thing is, I was doing my A levels as well as obviously training and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I remember it. There was Rhino out of Gladiators.
Yeah, I remember him. Yeah.
I have no idea where he is now.
Yeah.
But obviously Rhino's he's pumping up in the and I went over to him and I went, you don't know where the under 21 over 75 kilograms is? And he went, oh yeah, it's here. And I just looked at him. And don't get me wrong, as you say there, I had the proportionate physique.
Yeah.
So did Rhino.
Yeah.
But the thing is he was a lot bigger.
Yeah.
And he came over, and because we were too sort of, I don't really like stipulating things like this.
Yeah.
In as I don't mind getting called names or stuff like that.
Yeah.
But he obviously came over to me because we were both of the same heritage.
Yeah.
So basically, he came over and he went, "You've got an excellent physique, but what you need to do is this, this, and this."
Yeah.
Now, when I listened to him, I wasn't really prepared to go that distance.
Right.
In other words, he was talking about a lot of steroids to take, this, that, and the other. I was looking, and I was quite lucky, really.
Yeah.
When I was looking at him, he looked phenomenal.
Yeah.
You know, when you're going for a show, you think to yourself, I might win this.
Yeah.
But when I looked at him,
yeah,
I thought, I'm going home. It's as simple as that.
Do you know what I mean? Same thing with that. Yeah. Remember Davies?
Oh, yeah.
I went to a show at Skegness, and I went to the back, and I thought I was looking quite good, and for what I did, under 21s, and I looked at him, and he was massive.
Yeah,
but he ended up losing his kidneys and everything. He had dialysis and everything, all the steroids he was taking. They called him the dinosaur. He was that big, but he ended up losing his kidneys, like they say. So it's not really worth it, is it?
Yeah, I mean, this is what I'm saying.
For about a £10 trophy, that's all it is.
Well, obviously, I listened to him.
Yeah.
And this was a qualifier, but I was also studying my A levels as well.
Yeah.
So I was looking at that thinking, well, and this is 19 years old when I actually went for this, British Championships. But as I say, under 21s, over 75 kilograms.
Right.
Looking at him, I thought, he looks fantastic. But as you just stipulated there, is it worth the risk in the long run?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm 50 years old now, so I can say to myself, yes, I was right. But back then, you've got so much peer pressure of people going, you've got a good physique. I was getting sponsored by, God rest his soul, Dave Williams. Sorry, was it?
Don Williams.
Don Williams. Don Williams. I mean, to be actually picked out in Olympia, you know, I couldn't even look at that in sort of like a category of like, I've been, you know, I'm getting sponsored in the mecca of sort of like gyms in this area.
The gym we're talking about was probably the first American type gym in Britain, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, people say I'm a bit of a bullshitter about this bodybuilder, but Bertel Fox trained there, didn't he?
Yeah, did he?
Trained a couple of weeks, and people, top bodybuilders came there, didn't we? There was so many people.
There was Sean Ray, there was Bertel Fox, there was, I'm trying to think, Brian Buchanan.
Tom Blatt has been there.
Yeah.
He'd been at Teesside as well, and there was so many top bodybuilders on in them days, and they were like, everyone, to me, when you went to a gym, it was like your family. And you'd have a night out, and the lads would come out to work at the door, and they'd come in, and everyone would be happy. If there was a bit of trouble, they'd all back you up, and it was just like family, wasn't it? And when you were in the gym in them days, I was quite strong in them days. Well, I used to go for lifts. Everyone would be around the squat, come on, screaming for you to do it, and it was just, the camaraderie was just phenomenal, wasn't it? Compared to nowadays, it's not the same. It's all photographs and stuff.
Yeah, it's the thing is it's. I think we were talking about this before. It's going on about social media.
Yeah.
Social media now, unfortunately, is creating a lot of individuals. Before you used to work for it.
Of course you did.
And now you can just basically, if you're good looking.
Yeah, like me.
If you're good looking, you've got a good physique, which is part and parcel of it all.
Of course it is,
and you get like 2,000 likes, then straight away. But the thing is what people, you see, people of this generation now don't realise that social media has narrowed everything down. In other words, we're talking the best of every country.
Yeah.
So when, you know, I listen to so many people going, I look fat, I look this, that, and the other. I'm going, don't look on social media. Don't look on Instagram. Because you will feel terrible. Yeah. I'm laid in the bath in the morning going like that, going, Jesus Christ, I feel like quitting. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But what you're looking at now is the top 5% of every country.
Yeah.
So that's narrowed, say, down. Before you were just looking at the Northeast.
Would you say, like, in bodybuilding, I think a lot of people go, I want to be Arnold Schwarzenegger. Don't get me wrong, some people can, but it's probably only maybe 5%. But if you weigh 10 stone, you got yourself to 14 stone, you've achieved something brilliant, haven't you? You've got yourself better.
Yeah.
They don't have to actually be Mr. Olympia, Mr. Universe, or Mr. Britain that you won. They don't have to be that, because achieve the goals what you can achieve and be the best to you want to be.
Yeah.
No, you can't be like, everyone can't all be like Dorian Yates or Bertel Fox or whatever. You all can't be like Ollie Little. It's the truth. The thing is, Lee have like known each other 34 years. We've trained our backsides off in them gyms. We push out to the limits, and you don't get to where you get just sitting about the. It's not a shortcut in bodybuilding.
Well, this is another thing that I think a lot of obviously people that we know agree with. Basically, is I get messaged a lot going, what tablets do I take?
Yeah.
This, that, and the other. And I'm like, listen, do you think if you took a tablet, I would be in here 4 hours a day or training 3 times a day, right? I'll be sat on the couch, right, with a
more tablets.
Yeah, with a lovely woman taking loads of tablets.
Yeah.
And this is what, you know, this is the generation, how they think now.
Yeah,
they think if I take 1 tablet, it's going to make me look like this.
Yeah.
If I take 10 tablets, it's going to make me look like this.
And that's why they're getting so ill.
You've got to go in. To be perfectly honest, and you know this, you can answer this, Brian, right? Yeah. The thing is back then, the things that are going around now aren't the same.
No, not at all.
They're not the same. And it's a good job they aren't, because if they were, there'd be a lot more fatalities, which would be unfortunate. Do you know what I mean? It really would be unfortunate, because
people in them days were starting to have, like, I remember when obviously I took myself and looked at like people. I got Dynabol, I got them with a lad from Redcar, and we got 100 tablets, and we take 1 a day for a week, 2 a day for a week, 3 a day for a week, 3 a day for a week, 2 a day, 1, not finished. That'd be it. So 1 tablet a day.
Plus,
now they're taking 20s and 30s.
But the thing is, as you just said there, they're only 5 milligrams.
That's right.
Now they're 10 milligrams, and they're 50 milligrams. And I'm like, well, at the end of the day, it's like you just stipulated there. Before, you only started on like 1, 2, 3, maybe maximum of 4. Yeah. So you're only talking 5 milligram tablets.
Yeah.
So you're talking 20 milligram there.
Yeah.
Whereas now you're talking each tablet's 10 or even 50. I've even seen somebody that's come in the gym and gone, Lee, can you have a look at this? And it was called Stanavar.
Right.
100 milligram tablet.
Right.
And I was like, really?
Yeah.
Do you know, now, if that was
Liver
back in the day,
completely gone, and kidneys and
that's
everything.
it, you'd be wiped out.
I think you've got to train. There's another thing people say, how do you get really big? I think you've got to be the genetics for a start, haven't you? You've got to have the dedication, and you've got to eat big to eat. To get big, you've got to eat big, haven't you? You get people just to go to the gym and they'll go to McDonald's or Kentucky. I'll go to Kentucky or McDonald's and have a pint or something. That's how I finish after all the hard work. And people say to me, when I'm in the gym, I can feel myself grow. No, you can't. What you do when you're in the gym, you're breaking down the muscle and it goes into microscopic tears. And then you take your protein, your gluten, and your creatine, all the other stuff. And then after you train, you go home and you sleep. That's when you grow. You get these people going, oh, how big I'm getting in the gym.
Well, like
you get a pump in the gym.
Well, like you said there, what was it? I mean, I've done seminars on obviously trying to make people aware of the the side effects. That's why I did A-level statistics, because I like to prove things. Do you know what I mean? But like, I've listened to a lot of kids like going into gyms today, and they're like, oh, I took 5 Dynamo tablets this morning. And then they go on the bench and they're like that. Well, it takes at least 3 weeks
for
your system to recognise that. Never mind. So what I look at is, I think, look at what you're just doing there. It's to do with your mindset.
Of course it is.
In other words, if you're lifting that weight, you could lift it without those tablets.
I've known people who have a jab, go to the gym and go, instead of getting 180, I've got 200. So, and it hasn't even got in the system, like Lee says. It takes 2-3 weeks to get in your system. So therefore, psychologically, they're getting bigger by doing it. So
someone's asking if sustenance is any good.
No steroids are any good whatsoever unless the doctor gives you them.
Sus 250, unless it's prescribed.
Yes, off a doctor.
Yeah, so unless it's prescribed off a doctor. You see, the thing is there is, a lot of people say out there, and there is side effects, because obviously at the end of the day, right, you abuse anything. You drink too much, you drink too many cans of Coke a day, it's going to have some sort of effect on you. If you get things in an equilibrium, i.e. balance, it's you can sustain the longevity. I can say this now that I'm 50 years old, because of actually, obviously back then I could, lots of people are coming up to you going, do you know when you stop training, you're going to turn into fat?
Oh, that's a we're taking 10 water in the wine, isn't it? That's the one. That big fat lad up there? It'd be massive if you trained on the weight, but it's sending fat into muscle. It's a total different structure.
Well, it's I mean, as I say, it's going back to that. I was at my, what was it? It was, God rest so my auntie's funeral. Yeah. And there was, I think it was my godfather or something. He sat next to me, and he's got like 3 chins.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, literally, I don't agree with diets. I agree with like food plans.
Yeah.
I think you'll agree with this.
Yeah,
as long as you eat things in the correct, stages, you're all right. Anyway, sort of like, you're aware I was just eating whatever there was, like, everything on the buffet.
Menu,
do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And this guy's looking at me like, that's the godfather. I'm going like that. And I looked, I thought, is everything all right? And he went, again, he looked at me and he went, you do realise that when you stop training, it's all going to turn to fat. And I was only about 25 at the time.
Yeah.
And I looked at
him.
And then he's got 3 chins. And I went, well, you must have been a professional bodybuilder, were you? Do you know what I mean? Yeah. When you look at someone like that and you go, what?
I'll tell you this. I'll tell you another crack of one when I was training for the Britain's Strongest Man. And I was squatting, I think it was something like 8.5 plates each end, and the lad gave me a touch, and I'd done it. And this kid came on and said, you're squatting wrong. And he was squatting 100 pounds. He was telling me I was squatting. I was doing over 800 pounds squat. Yeah. And he said, no, you're squatting wrong. What do? You do this with your back. I'm thinking, unbelievable. Maybe 3 months, but you get them doing, you're absolute lunatics.
I mean, as I say, I like going back again to the competition. You see, once I'd spoke to Rhino, then I looked at it and thought, do you know what? Obviously, like yourself, I don't know. It's like, I think I'm the most luckiest person alive, even though I had a sort of, I got bullied and things like that. But I've
noticed with you, Lee, you're one of the people like myself, you don't let that get you down. You don't think of the past, I was bullied. And you don't play the victim. A lot of people play the victim, saying, I was bullied. And so loads of people bullied, and you've just got to go, haven't you? And that's what you've done.
You see, I
mean, you've got to remember where you were from. You were from
Easington.
Which is only black lads in the whole village, weren't you?
So, wouldn't even allow me on a bus. I'm not kidding there.
This is what the 70s, 80s.
Yeah, 70s, 80s,
absolutely ludicrous, But you never got that in the gym with us, did you?
Well, exactly.
You were just one of the lads.
I went from school. You see, the thing is the reason I started at 12, people were like, you started at 12, what am I messing about? No, I started at 12 because I couldn't go out the house because it wasn't the kids. I love school. School was brilliant because it's like, It's like literally like name calling. I know it's difficult for like, you know, kids of today, but what you've got to put things in perspective is it's just name calling. It's just words to try and revoke a response. It was what I differentiated with, and I don't know how I got to be like that, is obviously walking out of school, I got filled in by the adults, not the kids. So then I looked at goes, well, it's 8 hours of good banter at school. Then when I'm walking home, I'm getting beat up by different people. Do you know what I mean?
When he was at school, he used to get beat up. That was for the teachers.
So I looked at the positive thing, and I don't know how I'd sort of put my mindset to this. I mean, I
think that's what's made you the character you are now, because you're strong-willed, strong-minded. Nothing seems to get you down. You've got that never say die attitude.
I know it's silly to say this, but the thing is, you know, as you said there, I know it's hard to look at the positive side, but the thing is what you've got to realise is the 24 hours in a day, that 8 good hours where I'm having a good banter at school, there's only half an hour where I got bullied. And then I'm back, then I'm at home, and then that's why I started lifting the weights. Started lifting the weights, and I felt
I was bullied the same as you, and I think if you weren't bullied, you probably wouldn't have become the person you were, because it like lead up, he was the same bullies. And they trained and trained, and they got into the gym, and then you've turned your life on through it. It does.
You see, you can go one of either way when you get bullied. You can turn into a bully. Or you can learn from it. And basically help people out. No matter what, I've always tried to help people out. Unfortunately, as I say, people look at it and they go, "Well, kindness is weakness; it's not; it's a strength." No. You know, and that's unfortunate. You know, as I say, you look at people and think, "I'm going to say, no matter how people are with me, I will always be the same."
You always take the look at the good side of people.
Yeah, well, you've known me since I was a kid.
Yes, of course.
Do you know what I mean? So at the end of the day, I never looked at you any differently.
No.
You know, it's like you see a professional bodybuilder, like you said, Bill Fox. They're still the same as us.
Yeah, of course they are.
But obviously, I know people admire other people, but don't. We're all equal. You know, in every sense.
We're all in the same boat, no matter what nationality, whatever religion.
Oh, you're a film star, or you've got this, that, and the other. You're rich.
No, I just like going out helping people. I know you help people. You're a coach as well, aren't you? You coach people. And what's the best achievement you've done in the bodybuilding? I know what it is, but people would like to know. Well,
I mean, as I say, once I remember this. Once I sort of done the finals, I came 6th. Right. I was disappointed because obviously you want to go in for the.
What was this? The final?
This is the final when I was 19, so it was under 21s of 75 kilograms.
Great Britain.
Of Great Britain. Yeah. So and I came 6th, and I was disappointed. But the thing is, when I looked at Rhino and what he said to me, I was like, whoa! And he was phenomenal. And I thought, I don't think I'm going to sort of, you know. And it was one of those where I just thought, right, I'm not prepared to go that distance. Or do I want to follow my A levels and stuff like that? And as I say, I remember going in and telling Don, and I think I got bad for 2 months.
Don with us,
but I like honest people. Do you know what I mean? It's like I didn't expect anything differently because at the end of the day, he saw me at 17, and at 19, I'm telling him he thought because I was going to go out drinking and stuff like that, it was nothing to do with that. It was with the fact that like I looked at that and thought, do you know what? I'm taking just a small amount of this, but I'm not prepared to take
a massive
amount. And it's like, you know, Matt said to me, do you know the greatest disappointment you are is you should have followed it on. Well, yeah, where would I be now though?
Exactly.
You know, you look at
people, these
utmost respect to Ronnie Coleman, right? But the thing is he pushed his body to the limit. You watch the documentary, and I think it's a little sad.
Of course it is.
Because he's in a lot of pain, and he's had 19 back operations. So at a young age, I looked at that, and then I always kept in that realm, because I've been a manager at BT, I've worked for the council, I've
got your sack onto the council,
it's literally.
Sorry.
We won't go into that one. Anyway, what was it? So it basically, as I say, how I look at that is, I've also had my own pubs. You know,
I used to work on the door for you, didn't I?
I've worked. What was it? I've done the steam packet. Worked on that door. But the thing is as I say, you've got to know how to deal with people.
Of course you do.
A lot of people.
You do have that you can talk them down. Not that you can't fight, because I know you can fight, but it's not about that, is it?
I can give the secret away now, Brian. Psychology. It is psychology, because at the end of the day, anyone can jump down in the middle of a field, right? Do you know what I mean? But at the end of the day, if you don't show hesitation, your worst fears won't come true. Do you know what I fine.
And
So
the thing is, as well, when you talk somebody down, they'll come back and say, "I'm sorry about last night. I was drunk."
Yeah.
Well, if you give them a good argument, you've hit somebody who's drunk and you look bad, don't you, and things like that. So
it's not just that. Then they're looking at the face next day, going, "Do you know what?
I'm going back."
And then you know what? They've got. You see, the worst aspect that I've noticed, the people that bullied me. The hatred in their eyes was astronomical.
Yeah.
You see, I had a conversation, what was it, when I was 30, to my mum, and I was going, "Listen, mum, at the end of the day, right, I think anyone can have their own views and opinions, right?" And we're in Gisborough, and she's going, "No, it wasn't that bad. The past is the past." I went, "I've never looked at it in a negative way.
No.
You know, I've never looked at it in a negative way." And I was saying, "Listen, what I'm trying to say, mum, is what you've got to look at is if you get a small area of people, or even you get some individuals, unfortunately, and they tend to blame other people. But the thing is if you've got 2 kids and you've lost your job, and you see on TV and you go, "Do you know what? I can't get a job because of that person," or whatever. Next thing is the kid's coming in, wants to hug off his dad. He's getting clipped on the back of the head. That's how it gets passed on. So you've got to understand both sides of the spectrum.
Of course.
So I'm not going to, like a lot of people when I've worked the dog go, "He's just said this when he left." And I was like, I went, I'm not going to change his opinion.
No.
If his favourite colour is blue, favourite colour is blue. If he doesn't like coloured people, there's nothing I can do about that. If it's like, as I say, you had the power to do whatever you wanted to. Now, if somebody disliked you and you whacked them, they're going to dislike you even more.
Of course they are.
You see, the thing is,
you've got to kill them with kindness, haven't you, in a way?
Yeah, well,
I get comments saying, "Oh, you're a bully." So I say, "Well, thanks for your comment. Have a lovely day." And the next minute, and we'll pray for you. And the next minute, they're like, "Oh, sorry about that." Instead of like screaming, shouting, arguing on the show.
Aki said hello to the baby and he said, "You know what he thinks about bullying."
Oh, Aki's a fantastic lad. He's brilliant.
Andrew Atkinson.
Yeah, Andrew Atkinson, yeah.
How are you doing? All right.
Yeah.
Well, we're all ready for Christmas.
Yeah, he is.
And our 3rd lockdown.
So, I think a lot of the bullying, just some people are like, it's worse on the cyberbullying, because we've just done a YouTube, a documentary myself, Stephen Wraith, and was involved in what was it, Neil Jackson, and we've done about cyberbullying. I think that's worse actually than getting a good eye, because when you get a good eye, you can get over that. But somebody's mentally bullying you, especially on these computers and things, it's horrible, like trolls.
It can go viral. The thing is I'm glad you brought that up, because my sister got in touch with me from Gisborough. Now the thing is with my real half sister, she doesn't advertise it,
right?
You know, but the thing is my niece is, you know, she's only 12 years old, but she's got like a diet problem, basically.
Right.
But the thing is I was sent a video and it was terrible. It was literally, it was on Instagram, and there's 2 kids in a spa, and they're ridiculing her.
Yes.
And that's bad. Then the next thing is I heard they were making a page on Facebook. And you think, hang on a second, how can Facebook in itself?
That's what we exactly
how
where you
can
come from.
Facebook
As soon as you complain, nothing happens.
Allow a page to be created.
Yeah.
Specific. And I looked at, and the thing is this is where my computer skills come into practice.
Yeah.
I looked on that and I went, oh my God, there's even adults on this page.
Yeah.
But the thing is, you know, as I say, well, it's one of those where I won't go too deep into it, because obviously it looks at my niece. Yeah. But the thing is they've made a full page, yet Facebook's allowing that still to go on.
I've noticed another thing. When Stephen Wraith asked me what you think should be done with the cyberbullying, I said it should be 3 strikes. Strike 1, if you're bullying someone and you're found maybe 6 months off it. Strike 2 is you're bad for life. Strike 3, you go to jail for it. Yeah. I think you go to jail because people are killing themselves being bullied, and it's non-stop, and it's through these cyberbullies. Yeah. These trolls, I call them, all day long, trolling people and changing accounts and going. And people are stupid because you get the address to kind of the IP address. The police can get it. So he said, "What do you think you should do?" I said, "I think you should be policed better by the YouTube people, the Facebook people should be policed better by them, because they're making billions of pounds, trillions of pounds. They should put something in there where somebody complains, you can speak to somebody on the phone or something, because you make a complaint, nothing happens. It's just
it's like you stipulated there, right? Each IP address, right, is connected to somebody's address. Yeah. Right, as soon as it's set up, so it's easy trackable. Yeah. If you put a video on with copyrighted music, it gets taken off straight away.
Of course it does. Yeah.
Within a minute.
Yeah.
within a minute. So at the end of the day, if someone's putting on a page or they're putting on a story bullying someone, it should be taken off.
Yeah.
It's a simple routine to do.
Yeah.
If they can pick up music and they can pick up this, that, and the other, and they can go. Don't get me wrong, they are censoring. Well, no, they're not, because I looked at one and I thought, what's going on here? And it was a woman being beaten in the corner, and it's getting shared by loads of people. I'm thinking, what the hell? Why is this being allowed to be put on Facebook? Yeah.
So what do you think you should do? Do you think something like I've just said, maybe?
The thing is, as you just stipulated there, right? Facebook in itself, I know how it started, how it sort of, because I'm a computer programmer, I know the ins and outs of everything. Now, obviously, I don't know whether I can say this on Facebook, because obviously it's the individual that had it. He's a billionaire, right? And it's a simple process. Like, for instance, if somebody was selling something before pages came out, somebody was selling something on their Facebook page, it got shut down. Well,
exactly.
If somebody's doing, something like that,
something like
it's easy to do.
1,000 people complain about one person. Why isn't something happening? It's absolutely ludicrous.
But I'm going to make a statement here, right? Right, so they're more bothered about somebody trying to sell something. That's why they brought the pages out, to sell to someone. They're more bothered about somebody selling trainers on the Facebook page, right, than someone getting bullied on a page,
money, isn't it?
right? And they're allowing it. So what they're saying is they'd rather have the money than save a human life.
That's exactly what they're doing,
Because a kid will go, he'll look at that and he'll go, oh my God, now I'm on YouTube, now I'm on Facebook, now I'm on Instagram. And literally, why don't you use the same routine and go, hang on a second, right? Because someone said to me, well, I've used this. There was back in the day when Facebook just started, and there was no, like, you couldn't buy your business pages. You just basically put something on, but if you were selling it, your Facebook would get shut down straight away. So why don't they do that straight away with this scenario?
Exactly. Shut it down, investigate, and if it's right, if it's wrong, it's wrong. So do you think, we're going back to bodybuilding? Do you think you did win the Brit, didn't you?
What I did was basically, as I say,
it's one of them who doesn't like saying things. I want to back out of it. He did win the Mr. Brit, and he won the overall.
We're talking from the age of 19 now to the age of 43. Now, you've got it. This is what I'm saying with the 80s and 90s bodybuilding, even now bodybuilding. With the sort of top pros that take it like to the elite level, it's hard.
Of course,
the training is hard, but the dieting, yourself.
That's what I say to people. It's train hard as you can, but 90% of it's the food, isn't it?
It is. It's all the food. When I say to people food, they go, "Oh, can I?" No, you can't add anything. No. You literally cannot cheat. No. It's like literally. I'm coaching a lad now. He's from Algym. Alex, and I've wrote him a diet out. He keeps sending me pictures of barbecue sauce. Then he goes on about a professional bodybuilder that takes barbecue sauce, but he's a natural lad that's training naturally. He's not looking at the fact that, like, bodybuilders and people in sports should be honest about what they're doing.
Of course.
Because young generation are trying to follow these people. You cannot spend 7 in the day in the gym. No. You can if you're on performing enhanced drugs. So, and you can eat this if you're on performing enhanced drugs, because it will strip it off. So I was ready at the time. I was in the right relationship. It was the perfect triangle. My training was good. My size was good. I was 43 years old. That's a late time to think, right, I want to compete now. So I went in for, I think it was, what was it? It was a local show, but it was literally, I was going to go in for one show, but then I thought, don't look right. I'm going next week. So I went in for that show, but it was the NABBA. So then basically I went in for that.
Which is natural amateur, was it?
It wasn't just a local NABBA. I competed against
Amateur Bodybuilding Association or something.
So
Arnold Schwarzenegger was in every one of the universities.
You've got to start. I mean, I wish I was. The thing is, what I wanted to do was get a pro card. That was my goal. But then I was looking at things. You see, the thing is once I started my diet and started what I was taking, I was monitoring it, which a lot of people don't do. You've got to, because I'm 43 years old at the time.
When people go to the extremes that much, they eat like baby food. All I was doing when I was competing. I didn't compete as good as he was. I was in the strength more, but I'd seen guys having like cabbage every day and like turkey for 3 months and things like that, diet and just crazy food, and also, like you said, the stuff they take is some people take astronomical amounts of steroids on. just make themselves ill.
Well, I mean, when I was competing for the Britain, as I say, I qualified.
Yeah.
And the thing is I was in the
what
line.
it means by that, just 2 seconds, you have to go on a show, certain shows,
to qualify,
for the next stage to be in the Mr. Britain. So you might go in the Mr. England, win that, and then you go into the Mr. Britain, don't you? So some stages.
So basically, I was competing against.
This is the best in Britain now, isn't it? Yeah.
So I competed against a guy from London called Nigel Thompson,
right.
and so there was like 19 of us altogether, competitors.
Yeah.
But another thing as well, I was getting sponsored. That's a big issue. You've got to obviously have the money,
your mindset,
and everything was right.
Yeah.
But I never once got called out on a call out.
Right. And that's a bit nerve-wracking, isn't it? Because you think,
well, I was stood there, and like Eddie Elwood said to me, because he was obviously, commentary and stuff like that. And he said, "Are you okay, Lee?" I said, "Yeah, I'm fine." And he went, "It's just basically," he went, "You were full of smiles, shaking people's hands, and now you're like," and I'm just still stood there because obviously you have to stand even when you're not getting looked at, you still have to stand in the correct position.
Yeah.
Now, I never once got compared, but unknown to me, when I spoke to Julia Abdal, I don't know whether you've heard of her. No. She used to be a professional bodybuilder in the 80s, female. It was her. She was actually doing the show.
Yeah.
Now, I didn't get compared whatsoever, but when I went home, because I was stood there and I was thinking, I'm not even in the top 6. You know, I was looking at these big.
The mind's half playing tricks.
The thing is this is what I'm saying. I don't see what other people see. Everybody, I think, including yourself.
Yeah, you look at.
We've always had body dysmorphia.
I've had this thing. I've looked at him and I've been 24 stone.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm at 23 and 36. It's that man, it's a bit thin. And she laughs at me. She's 22 stone. What's the matter with you? And I'm going, oh, I'm still too thin. And it's the opposite, isn't it? It's like bulimia, isn't it? It's the opposite to that. You think, oh, I'm too thin. But
well, the thing is you get comments, whether it be positive or negative.
Yeah.
The worst judge is yourself.
Yeah, well, remember years ago you'd be in the gym, you lose a bit of weight, and you go, you'd be paranoid.
Worst thing you can say to a bodybuilder.
That's the worst thing. God, I was getting small, but it's a cycle. You learn to people wind you up, isn't it?
Well, I didn't see this at the time, but this guy looked down at me and he went, nice, like that. Yeah. But I didn't see what he saw.
Yeah.
And obviously,
but then you look at him, you think he's better than you, don't you?
Yeah, well, that's what
I'm saying.
Yeah.
He's better. No, he's better.
Well, look at him, like,
his shoulders better than mine.
Yeah, he did look really well. But the thing is, as I say, is I'm top 6. I was in the top 6. So then the next thing is it got counted down, and I'm still stood there like that. And I remember Annie and Hannah going, "Dad, it's you idiot!" like that, right? Yeah. I was like, "What?" And I'm stood there, and I came first. But I sent Julia Abdal a text message when I got home, and she went, "As soon as you walked on stage, this is going back to what you were saying at the start."
Yeah.
She said you were the only one with a proportion physique.
Yeah. Aesthetic means.
Yeah.
What it means is
the
same size neck, same size arm, same size calf, tiny waist, big shoulders, thick chest. Because it's hard to get that. You've got to be bombing it around you.
Well, it's another thing. What people are doing now is they're taking a lot of what's called growth hormone.
And they're getting that bubble go out there.
And they get that blocky look.
Yeah.
And I didn't realise when I looked. I was the only one with a V-taper, but everybody else had that blocky look because the growth hormones taking an excess will do that to you. So when I looked at the pictures, I was thinking, she's right. So what she was saying, the judges already had me down as first.
So
as soon as I watched
about the rest, he's first, who's second?
Well, I'm not being egotistical, but if I knew that, I'd have gone for a McDonald's and come back.
Eddie Elwood was.
He was doing the commentary.
He's probably the best bodybuilder.
Yeah, absolutely.
One of the best ever. Good big shout out to Eddie.
Won the universe.
You won your 6 times, I think, didn't he?
6 times.
Beat I was watching, I reckon Arnold couldn't save me, so probably the best. He's the best body builder in the North East ever had. So So what was like when he was there with you? Was he good?
I've known Eddie for years, and he's a lovely gentleman.
Yeah, he's a good friend of Kev Kilty and Richard and that. So
he's always he's always helped
really clever, isn't he?
And he's always like Sean Ray in the same category. Yeah. He's always been in the bodybuilding.
He hasn't got that jealousy thing, has he? Like,
no. This is what I'm saying. At the end of the day, he could have looked at me and just gone, but he went, "Lee, are you okay?"
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Now that's nice. You know that you're talking to a genuine person because at the end of the day, as you said there, he's won lots of titles, but he went from that to strongman and did really well in the strongman as well.
Of course.
But as I say, on a personal level, no Eddie. But it's, as I say, I won that show, which actually qualified me.
Did you go into the overall that day, or just at the end?
No, that qualified me. That show qualified me for the Britain finals.
Right.
In the Britain finals,
What was your confidence like then, Lee, after winning that one to go to the next one? Were you still a bit? I know they're going to be the elite now.
I was looking at that and thinking, right, this is the finals now.
Yeah, these are the best of the best.
I had 4 weeks to eat what I wanted to, but I still stood on my diet.
Yeah,
because I wanted to win.
Yeah.
Now the thing is,
these diets are ridiculous.
Yeah,
I've done a few. A lot of guys will pee in a bucket, measure it, and then drink less water towards the competition. No, you've done that one.
No, never done that one.
A lot of American ones do that. They used to in the 80s. They used to do wee, and they'd say 2 pints of wee, and then they'd drink a little bit less of water.
Right.
So then there'd be less and less water in the body. But a lot of people died through that, haven't they, through their thing.
There was
then don't put the T6, T4.
Yeah, it was what was it? Mohammed Bentonet.
And he was another one. When he was a brilliant bodybuilder. Andy Hornby. Remember when he? He was like a top.
This is as you just stipulated there. In the 80s and 90s, there was pictures in the magazines of, obviously, as I say, in the 80s and 90s, the internet was just coming out.
Yeah.
But the thing is you got pictures where people go like that on stage. Now, these are professional bodybuilders, just again, cramp, as you just stipulated there. Now, Mohammed Bentonet is a top professional bodybuilder, like in the Sean Ray and as I say, Little Fox and everything, that era. He literally cramped over, won first position, went backstage and died of dehydration.
So dying to win, isn't it? In a way. That's what it's. It's a wet that, it's just good. Another good lad was Rich Piano, wasn't he? You remember the bodybuilder? Yeah. He got obsessed. His arms were huge. He was taking these different drugs, injecting himself, and he was taking insulin, which is a really dangerous thing to take. Unless you really know, if you're with doctors and people like that taking it. I think Don Yates was the first of the big ones when he was the first. He changed bodybuilding from like the aesthetic look to the big massive look. But like you said, people don't realise when you take growth hormone, everything grows, and then everything.
I've said to I won't mention the names, but somebody came up to me for advice wise, and I remember him saying he had a little cancerous lump.
Yeah.
And I said, "Listen, are you taking growth hormones?"
Yeah.
And they went, "Yeah." I went, "Well, don't take it."
Yeah.
Right.
So stop it. On steroids,
because it multiplies. It multiplies everything, as you say, exponentially.
Yeah.
Your muscles, but your kidneys, your liver, and cancerous growth.
Yeah.
So obviously they were actually booked in for keyhole surgery.
Yeah.
Now they went for it. Obviously, as I say, they stuck the camera in one side, obviously to go cut it out.
Yeah.
Next thing, it's the size of a tangerine.
Yeah.
So that's, this is what I try and say to people. Yeah. Growth hormones, don't get me wrong, all these things that we're talking about is used in medical purposes.
Yeah, yeah.
But under medical supervision.
And these are absolute professors.
Well, growth hormones is still, I mean, it's used by the medical profession for kids that have got growth problems. That have got growth problems.
Yeah.
So obviously, when this person came back to me and I looked and went, well, I've stipulated this to you. So why have you, so now instead of getting a keyhole, you're going to get a large scar on yourself, with another, like, sort of going into the body dysmorphia type thing. But
sometimes they look in the mirror and they think, I maybe she'll take more.
Yeah.
But the thing is with steroids, you can only take so much. It's like Bruce Lee said, when you fill the glass with water when it's full, the more you pour, you can't get any more in because it's full to the brim. And they happen when you take certain steroids, or any steroid, when the receptor sites are full, you can't get any more in, can you? So you're wasting your money and you're wasting your time, you're just peeing it out type of thing. So it's just, but people get obsessed on they start, and they want to be like Arnold Schwarzenegger in 3 weeks.
Yeah.
And it's like I say to people, it's like to get a great physique and compete, it's maybe 5 or 6 years. And that's the same as to be a doctor, to be a lawyer. It takes 5 or 6 years to do that. But they won't put in the work, will they? They'll just say, take the steroids and get the shortcut, but it doesn't work.
But this is again going back to social media. Again, when we go on Instagram, we are looking at the top, like as I say, 5% of every single country.
Yeah.
So it's not just before when we were training.
No.
It was just like locally.
That's right.
Now you're looking at global.
Yeah.
And it looks like everybody's perfect. They're not.
No.
Professional bodybuilders, when they're out of season.
Oh, the bellies are out here, man. I know loads.
Well, I'll tell you something that I did when I was a kid, right?
I'll just say he'll tell you this. That look you had that day when you won that show, and that's a couple of days, doesn't it? Well, it's ripped to the bone. People think, oh, the water over the six-pack out here. It lasts, and I'm telling you now, you eat Mars after Mars, but I mean, as soon as it's finished ice cream and everything, because your body's
again, I can say this, but I've said it to a couple of people. Like, obviously, no matter what standard you are, I also had somebody that was coaching me a little.
Yeah.
So they were looking at me. They were looking at me every day. Now, during when I won, as I say, I won the Britain and I won the overall as well on that day that I went in for. 6 weeks into my diet, I had striations, which is like literally every definition of your muscles.
Which is it's like a muscle and it has lines in it, so you can see that ripped.
Well,
the best one was Eddie Elwood on the backside. His backside had muscle, where they were ripped on the bottom of his. He pulled his thing up to his backside a little bit, and you see the striation on his bum. Yeah, exactly. It was that ripped.
I went into the garage and I was only filling the car, and I looked and I thought, I'm not really keen on sort of flapjacks, but I saw this flapjack and I thought, just one flapjack.
Yeah, just one.
Now I had that flapjack, right, and I woke up the next morning and I looked like a balloon.
And you feel like crap, don't you?
Well, no, I looked in the mirror, honestly, Brian. I looked in the mirror, and I remember Craig sort of messaging me going, "Do you want me to have a look at you today?" And I was like, not today. I'm feeling not quite right. Do you know what I mean? I went maybe tomorrow, because I was thinking I'm going to get on a spin bike for 2 hours. I'm going to train for it all the time, and that's how much just one flapjack affected my body.
I would say of all the sports, the bodybuilding's the hardest. I'm not saying it's the hardest thing. The boxing's probably the hardest thing. So you get hit in the face and think, if you take 2 months off bodybuilding, you look like crap. You just look like me. If you take a month off boxing or something, you feel fantastic. You go back off football. You go back bodybuilding. You have after 2 weeks, you start losing muscle, and then it's going smaller, and you look crap, and your belly goes up a little bit. But the thing is, what I was on about before, people saying you're going to get fat when you stop training. I tell you why they get fat, because when you're bodybuilding, you eat quite a lot of food, obviously, and you burn it up. But if you're still eating the same amount of food, you're not bodybuilding. You are going to get fat because you're not burning the food up. That's what happens.
You see, well, this is going back to what I was saying about somebody saying, well, when you stop training, it's going to turn into fat.
Yeah.
Now, that's not necessary. Well, muscle doesn't turn into fat.
No, it's impossible.
It's impossible.
No.
We know that. Yeah. But the thing is what you do is, when you are thinking about easing off a bit,
cut your food
obviously out. You see this again. I don't agree with severe diets. I agree with work. Obviously, when you bodybuild, you know yourself, you have to have about 5,000 calories a day.
Yeah, of course.
But it's common sense.
Yeah.
You can't still eat that 5,000 calories a day.
No, not at all.
If you're starting to ease off your training,
of course,
you need to reduce your calories down to 3,000. So it doesn't matter what that 3,000 is, as long as you've done the deficit.
Yeah.
And you've gone from 5,000 to 3,000, because obviously you've stopped training.
Yeah.
So, but a lot of people, as you just stipulated there, you take even 1 week off, or 2 weeks off, or 3 weeks off, you start to go like that, and then you lose half a stone. That half a stone can make a big difference when you're a bodybuilder. This is why I've got a problem at the moment now where I'm saying to people, I want to get down to a certain weight.
Yeah.
But I lost half a stone before the lockdown.
Yeah.
And people look at me going, God, Lee, I looked at Facebook and look at that, you look miles different. And I'm going, I know that, you don't need to show me, do you know what I mean?
I have got a mirror.
That's my purpose. But they're going, oh, what's happened to you? You're going through a bad patch. And I was going, no, not really.
No.
They're like, you're bringing me down a little, but that's, but the thing is that's human society. Do you know what I mean?
People that can't wait to pull you down, you can't wait to say, oh, you're not as good as you used to be. I'm 56-year-old. You're not as strong as you used to be. I know I'm not. But people just make things. I remember when I used to train, it was like heavy weights. When you see me train the ridiculous weights, and they used to say, "Go for the world so much, man. You're going to win it," and you win it. But I was always something else to do, and there was drugs involved and everything. But sometimes I think you miss things, and it's for a purpose. Everything's for a purpose, I think, in life, and it's
absolutely,
You can't regret the past because it's gone.
There's everything that I've done. Like somebody said to me, "Have you got any regrets?" And I went, "Not really. You shouldn't really look at it in that perspective, because the thing is when we come to a junction, it's up to us whether to take a right or a left.
Yeah,
it might be a mistake. And it might be right.
Yeah,
but at the end of the day, you can't tell me that one single human being
is every single perfect way.
But there's no point in taking a right and then going, oh no, and then beating yourself up for even don't get me wrong, even though whether it be bad or good, you've just made a mistake.
Of course you have.
We all make mistakes.
I mean, look at me, Wells West. But at the end of the day, I was in that whole chain drugs, and he came a few times. This guy, God bless his soul, and get me off them and banging on the door. But you just don't answer the door because you're paranoid, and you.
I remember saying
Kicking
through your letterbox.
I'll kick your door. But I used to have Charlie at the end of the door.
I could see you.
But the thing was, you don't realise you're in that bubble. But if I can get out of that horrible situation, people like Tyson Fury was bad with it, and people like Mike Tyson, all them type of people, you can get out of it, can you? And we tend to Christianity. Me and my wife are Christians now, and we help people do the YouTube channels and things with people like yourself and people like Lisa and all that, because he's been a friend most of my life, most of my life. And we've never had an argument, have we, mate? We never fell out over nothing. No. We've always had fun, laugh. He's always joking. And he's a great lad. And
see, the thing is you could quite easily say to me, Lee, you're in the wrong there.
Yeah.
And I was comfortable and relaxed to say to you.
Well, you've done it to me. If you
I've done it to you, great.
Right in the point, I didn't see you. He's going to give me a tell up.
I remember in my hands, I went up to you and I went, because I remember there's some incident that happened. I won't go right into it. But I was like, what have you done that for? And I was like, oh my God, it's like, wait till he wakes up and apologise. But it was just, obviously in your situation, where people were attacking you all the time.
Oh, it was really nice. You used to wait as well.
It was just a split decision.
Yeah, you have to make it if you get.
It was a split decision thinking.
You're going to get beat.
Oh yeah, but I came up to you and I'm like, you're like, oh, did I do the wrong thing there? And I was like, but it's just one of those where that's what friends do.
Of course they do.
And no matter what,
what it is like, I don't like yes men. I like somebody to tell me if I'm wrong.
No, you've got a few yes men around you.
I've got quite a few. But it's like people. I mean, like the fighting days and all that. I could have beat Brian Cross. I could have done it. They would have. They could have. Couldn't they? You get people. I could have beat Lee Duffy. I'd have done this. And I'd have beat Peter. I'd have beat this one.
Yeah.
It's just crazy that this talk rubbish people are doing it. But so what are you doing now? What's in store for Lee Little now? And
well,
you doing, mate?
I'll be perfectly honest. For the last 2 years, I've been in a transitional period where what I want to do is I want to go back to doing Samaritans.
Right. But it was Samaritan for a long time when you're really good.
Loved it. Absolutely loved it. There was one call that really sort of like, people don't give Samaritans enough credit for it, right? This is what I'm saying about society. There was 26 of us that went in for Samaritans. You can't just volunteer.
No.
You get character tested.
But have the life skills.
Literally, the least experienced Samaritan that interviewed me was 18 years.
Yeah.
So you could be, and there was a vicar there that had basically retired.
Right.
He tried being a Samaritan.
Yeah.
Didn't get in.
Because of people skills.
26. Well, you have a one-on-one, you have role playing, but it's literally that day. I remember there's 26 people. It was from 9 to 5 on a Sunday. And we had one-to-ones. I sat in the middle of the room with people surrounding me, and we did a sort of a role play of someone ringing up. And I had no idea who it was. Do you know what I mean? So I'm there at the back like that, I'm facing, but you've got a whole load of people surrounding you. Do you know what I mean? And you literally.
It's like acting, really.
But it's like
it's real
this
life,
shows you. This shows you though the characteristics that an individual has, because you cannot bypass this.
No. You've got to remember as well what you're saying here is, if you say the wrong thing to someone, they'll take life, wouldn't they?
Yeah, absolutely. You can't. Well, the thing is you're not, as a Samaritan, you've got to listen to what they say.
Yeah.
Now, if you are helping somebody out there, what you've got to realise is, if you give somebody advice, that's gospel.
Yeah.
And if it's the wrong advice, like I'm saying, it's okay making your own decisions and you copy it, mess it up. Do you know what I mean? But if you're giving somebody else advice, you've got to be careful, because you might be reinforcing what they're thinking, and it might be negative. Now, this is what I'm going to go on about. When I started doing Samaritans, I told somebody a story to see how they would react to it, and I went, do you know what? I said, on the wall is a newspaper clipping of a guy who ran Samaritans for 10 years, but then he killed himself.
Right.
And people went, Samaritans isn't very good, is it? And I went, yes, it is, because...
Kept him alive for 10 years, didn't it?
Thank you. Yeah. I knew you were going to role play on that one.
I knew it.
I would never even rehearse that.
Yeah, because he knows how to speak. Yeah, you know how to see, people think Brian Cottage is a big love.
Yeah. This is why I could talk to him and say, right, you're doing the wrong thing.
That's great. Sure.
I'm just going to close this Facebook one, but you've carry on the YouTube one.
Right,
so say bye-bye for everyone.
See you later.
Okay, see you guys.
Right, carry on then.
So we'll do the 10 minutes if we want. So what do you think you're going to... Are you still a coach now?
Yeah, I mean,
Were you teaching the girls for a record?
I was asked by my daughter's friend,
Right.
to go help her out. I'm coaching.
I actually seen it on the lift today what you saw. I thought it was amazing.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. It's astronomical ways.
Absolutely.
And I'm not just saying this as a lie.
Yeah.
Absolutely natural.
Yeah.
Absolutely natural.
Yeah. What do you mean? No drugs.
No drugs. Nothing whatsoever. I would not be happy if she
was.
Get
tested anyway, when you're in when you're in doing these competitions, like Lee said, you get tested anyway, don't you? Anytime, and so. Yeah. So,
I mean, basically, what I want to do is, I've set up my own home gym. So, what I want to do is, I want to train people with anxiety problems, agoraphobia, and mental health issues, because it's like you say, now when people go into gyms, there's that many young people.
Yeah.
And if you get that sort of individual crowd, you've got like a group of people looking at an individual and they're ridiculing them.
And it makes them go home depressed even more. But what I've been doing, I don't know if you've seen me on my YouTube channel, I've been tip of the day, what vitamins there, what creatine, glutamine, proteins, and telling people how to take it. Just like a couple of minute video, tip of the day. We're getting thousands and thousands of people. And we've been doing, the elastic band springs. I've been using them because a lot of people, one guy said, well, why would you do press with them and you can do press ups just as good? Yeah, but you're 25 years old, you're ex-army. Some of these people are like 20 odd stone, some are like 60 odd year old. So there's elastic bands on the stairs I've been showing them how to press with, flies, and loads of people inundate me saying, I've had a back injury for years and this has really helped me because they're easy to do. Yeah. You can make them hard and you can make them easy. So a lot of people can't lift dumbbells and weights because they can fit themselves in the face with a weight or a bench. And a lot of people, yourself, it takes time. When you first start bench pressing, you can see, you've got to get everything in proportion. But when you just got the elastic bands and you drop them, you can't hit yourself. So it's been helping lots and lots of people. So that's what we've been doing. So I think, and we've been helping people with mental health issues because when you train, you know yourself, healthy body, healthy mind, and that. So
well, you know, as I say, carrying on there, when you train, that's why I started training, because it releases the endorphins in your head.
Yeah, it does.
And it makes you naturally feel good without talking to anyone.
And you can come down.
You can start training and you feel good in yourself.
Of course you do.
You don't need to go out and talk to somebody else.
No.
The thing is it's what I've noticed in society at the moment, and I don't know whether you'll agree with me on this one. This is probably getting very political here, but the thing is what I've noticed is there's groups of people now on social media.
Yeah.
And I'm going to go into this one. Black Lives Matter, right?
Yeah.
Then you've got the KKK going human lives matter.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is there shouldn't be any groups.
No.
Right? We should all be helping each other.
Of course we should.
Because I'm going back to a thing here where hate does not beat hate.
No, it just gets more hate and more hate, doesn't it?
Now, this probably sounds like a hippie thing to say at the end of the day, but love beats hate.
Yeah.
Now, at the end of the day, the thing is
well, that's what Jesus practiced, isn't it?
Well,
the other cheek and love.
You go into the Bible.
Yeah.
If you have hate against hate, it just creates more hate.
Of course it does.
If you think of somebody, as I say, that you say you do, and it is a strong emotion. I've never really had it, but if you hate somebody, you're going home. Now, say you've got a family.
Yeah.
And you sit down and your wife's like, how are you doing today? And you're full of hatred. Your three little kids are coming up to you like that.
Wrong chemicals.
Not just that, you're developing the wrong aura. You know yourself, if you've got a family that's like arguing with each other, the children will pick up on it.
It's like going to a house where a man and woman are arguing and they pretend they're not, and you can cut the atmosphere with a knife. You think, I've got to go to your film today. I've got to leave. You can tell the fight.
The thing is the most precious thing in life is family atmosphere. And this is what I'm saying. So if you are out there sort of like hating someone, go home and just show them nothing but love.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, that person that's going around hating
very good advice.
Will look, excuse my language, the arsehole.
Yeah, of course it will.
So don't be the arsehole. No. Be the person that's better.
It doesn't matter what colour you want to.
No, it's like literally, you see, the thing is this is another thing. I wrote this on my Facebook, and you can sort of scroll down my Facebook and have a look. It's literally what I said in context was, right, in the police, in the fire brigade, in hospitals, you are going to get people with bad attitudes.
Yeah.
Right? But the thing is it's like we're going on before. Negativity will outweigh some positivity. Now the thing is it's got nothing to do with their job. It's just that person is horrible.
Because what you're trying to say is that I don't know exactly. In every type of job or every type of society, you get great police, you get horrible police. You get great school teachers, you get horrible school teachers.
Yeah.
So in every job, you get good and bad done.
Yeah. So
it's not the actual job they're doing; it's the person in that job.
And this is what's got to be weaned out.
Yeah, you're right.
You know, you've got to look. This is what I'm saying. This is what I liked about going back to Samaritans. This is what I liked about Samaritans. 26 people went in altogether, and only 6 of us got picked.
Well, maybe that's a way to interview everyone.
Yeah.
The way the Samaritans people.
And you know, and I'll tell you this. Do you know how many people make money out of Samaritans?
No. No one?
One person.
Right, the person who gets saved.
The accountant.
All right.
Well, no, you're right on there as well. The person
saved,
that gets saved as well, obviously.
Yeah.
But there's only one person. So the more responsibility you take, because the thing is once you do a shift in Samaritans, you speak to a day leader because you've taken that much. Yeah. Because it is emotional. You'd be the same on the phone.
Yeah, of course,
You'd be listening to
We've
someone.
had people, my wife and that, from America phone at 3 and 4 in the morning, and you have to go, you got to answer this lad. And the one couple of weeks ago was going to talk to lads up in the summer, and she talked him down. And we've done I think it's 35 people we've saved from committing suicide. But I say to them on the night, look, it's not as bad as you think. Get a good night's sleep, get yourself rest and calm down, and they wake up and they say, I feel miles better, and you're right what you said, because nothing is as bad as what it seems, is it? You know, you can make things, and these are the things people sit in fear going, oh, if I lose my job, you're not going to lose your job, you've got your job, and if you do lose, you get another job. And people just sit in fear, and the worst thing about fear is fear itself. They get, the dog gets out, you get run over, and then the police will come, and you can go on and on. Talking about
you see, this is where I think anxiety, as you say there, is excelling too much, because people are looking at external sources to sort themselves out.
Exactly.
And it's not the case. It's if you deal with the demons within,
you have to confront your demons.
Nothing else outside will do you no harm.
That's right. Never let outside sources control your brain.
But don't get me wrong. Again, I can say
it's easy saying it, I suppose.
But it's difficult putting it into practice, because we're living. This is what I'm saying. We're living. You pick that up. Yeah. You go on anything whatsoever. You Google something, right? You're getting a wonderful image of anything. Do you know what I mean?
Course,
it's like you get an image of a perfect house. Yeah. You get people are sat now in restaurants and they're going like this.
Yeah.
So then other people sat at home and going, I'm alone. I'm alone and look at this. And so I don't know.
Them people, even though they're there, their lives aren't perfect. Them same people you see smiling, laughing, joking, having a great time, they have bad days. Everyone's up and down days. It's just the nature, isn't it, of people? Sometimes I've never had jealousy of anyone, but you get people, he's got a better car than me, the neighbour's got a better car. It doesn't bother me. Yeah. It's like people with years ago when I'd have cars with my car's with 100 grand, my watches with 30 grand, but then you'll have like 6 watches, you can only wear one. Have 8 bedrooms, you only sleep in one. 20 tellies, you only watch one. People are upset, I have 8 tellies in my house, so you only watch one telly.
It's materialistic things. At the end of the day, this is another thing, because of obviously the way, don't get me wrong, as I say, going back to my childhood, something else traumatic happened in my childhood. Yeah. But the thing is I won't go into that. I will talk about it in another sort of session if you want.
Yeah, of course.
Because that's something I'm writing down in I've done 300 pages so far. Yeah. So it's literally sort of what it's showing is it's probably the same story that other people have shown, but I'm trying to put a message across to people.
Yeah.
In other words, like we are now. Yeah. Look at things in a different perspective.
Yeah, of course.
Step back.
Yeah. Take a breath and count to 10.
And don't, Jesus, if social media is doing your head in right, come
turn it off. Yeah, exactly. Because you know who does your head in? Yourself. Yourself does your head in. Exactly. No one else can do it.
I've done it loads of times sometimes. But it's one of those where I've been so. Yeah. A lot of people look at it, and when I tell them a couple of stories of how I got bullied, I'm like, no, I'm not trying to put that across. No. What I'm trying to show is because of all
another black lad. They called me this. They called this.
I can sit with you. I can sit with Mark. Yeah. I can sit with everyone. Yeah. And people look like that and go, what did he just say there? Yeah. It's like, I don't care whether I'm called
Anything.
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 I'm watching my terminology because
Yeah.
I actually offended a white person, right? And I hate saying that because then I was going to Mark, do you know what, right? Now you're saying, like, I know a black person and I know a white person.
Right.
We shouldn't be like that because we're not like that.
People are getting scared to say things.
Yeah,
It's ridiculous.
Well, I'm having a laugh with Mark. Mark goes, well, you could deal with that because you're Blake. Do you know what I mean? It's like, it's a joke. Don't take it personally. It's like banter with friends. Don't get me wrong.
Not being disrespectful. A lot of these people who are saying people are racist are white collared, white people are in the middle class.
Yeah.
Well, I've got a clue about people like yourself and people I know, or black lads who don't care. They're not bothered about it.
Well, this is what I'm saying.
just a joke.
You look at this Black Lives Matter, right? Right. Look at the domino effect, right? They were rioting.
You could go on forever. Cats matter.
Yeah.
Dogs matter. Then the thing go racist. I'm a frog. Frog lives matter. Go on forever, couldn't you?
Yeah.
It's crazy.
It's literally
Everyone's life matters. Every single person.
Yeah. But
Everyone.
they were trying to. I looked at what was going on in America when the lockdown, and I thought, right now you've got the Ku Klux Klan that will always be in existence, and they're allowed to be. It's freedom of whatever you think.
You don't
As
think a
long as
lot
they're not-
of people are brought up with it's been embedded in them, isn't it? It's not
Yeah.
really their fault.
Well, this
It's
is
like Catholics with Protestants. When I go in Scotland now, and people say you with the girl and go, she's Protestant, I'm Catholic. They've still got that mentality.
Yeah.
Catholic or Protestant, and they're like as if to say it's in Ireland, as if, and it's just they've been brought up that way.
You see,
Embedded in them. Nobody likes the place. Keep away from the place. And,
Easington, where I was brought up, it's a village.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, right, or like say St Hilda's over the border.
Yeah.
That was literally, it was what made that flourish was the docks.
Yeah.
But when you run out of resources, you run out of jobs.
Of course.
It's got nothing to do with anybody else.
Yeah.
It's to do with the fact that like we've mined so much coal.
All the black lads are wearing they've got my
There's
job.
like,
Nothing to do with it.
You will see that there's no more ships being built. Do you know what I mean? It's not getting done by cheap slavery.
No.
Do you know what I mean? It's like slavery was abolished years ago.
Yeah.
So you can't say, well, the reason I haven't got a job is, but it's so easy to do.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I can understand it from a perspective of when you're talking about like Easington or Loftus, you will not see. Do you know, I'll tell you something here. In 1992, some Asian guys came down to Manhattan's and asked two of us to work the door.
I remember you telling me that story.
Yeah,
I remember it.
Right. And I was like, what? And I was like, get somewhere else. Right? It wasn't that I went to go work there, but the thing is I knew people there because I'm from there, and I know the nice guys. But the thing is it's because you, like you said there, like I said, if a kid walks in the house and he's getting clipped across the back of the head, he's then looking at that image and going, that's why I'm getting clipped. That's why my dad's not giving me a hug, and that's why he's not giving me a father for my pocket money, right? Because he's got no money, and then that's passed on. Yeah, like you said. Yeah. So it's literally, it's embedded into him. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Which is understandable. That's what I'm saying at the age of like when I was 30, going, I can understand that.
It's like these poor kids. I mean, I know these bombers who are blowing people up, and they're brainwashed by very intelligent people. Going, you'll go to Arlington, do this and that, and they're getting people with mental health or whatever, bombing and blowing places up, killing people. And it's not really the kids' fault. They've been brainwashed, haven't they? By absolute people, horrible people.
But again, you look at that, right? I mean, say in America, I mean, I think you came out where they were put on a register. Now, at the end of the day, if you're an American, you see, what we've got to look at is, I won't go too deep into this. We also do a lot of damage to people. England and America. It's easy to fly a drone above like a country. Like, I actually trained somebody, right? And you know what, right? I never saw any hatred in him whatsoever. 48 years old. Yeah. And he's lovely to everyone. Yeah. But he came over to this country. Do you know why he came over to this country? Because he was away with his dad. They came back and his village had gone. Right. So his entire family was wiped out. By one bomb, one drone, right? Or whatever it was. You know, I think it was in the 90s. So we're not talking a drone, we're actually talking about an airstrike. I think they use laser guided things. So could you imagine coming back and your son and your daughter and your wife is all dead? So it doesn't matter. And you know what? I looked at him and he never said it in resentment way. He just went, that is the reason why I had to leave, because his home's not there anymore. But not just that, he's like, he wants to make a fresh. So he's not come here deliberately. We've actually forced him to come to try and seek sanctuary
Yeah.
other places,
Yeah.
because, like we say, it's not.
His whole family.
The countries are dictated by different people.
Of course, yeah.
It's not the people that are like,
No.
you know. But then if we do this, and this is what we created,
Yeah.
then we create hate.
Of course, yeah. Yeah.
How can we say, and I'm not sticking up for any different side here,
No.
how can you define a terrorist if we can fly a drone overhead
Yeah.
and kill women and children?
Yeah, of course, yeah. So, last minute, what you want to say before you go to everyone? And obviously, happy Christmas, everyone.
Yeah, happy Christmas.
Yeah,
And
love and peace on earth. And
yes,
Yeah.
and well, yes, I love everyone out there to bits. I will always be me, and no matter what somebody says to me, I'll never change.
yeah, and you've always been the same to me.
Yeah.
You'll always be my mate, and
Nice
I
one.
love you to bits,
Yeah,
mate.
love you to bits as well.
Thanks
Nice
so
one.
much. Cheers, mate.
How do you do that? Like, bend there.
End stream.
Yeah, brilliant, mate. That was
That's okay.
fantastic, mate.
And
Absolutely
So we could
fantastic.
probably go on for about 12
Oh,